Policy 413, access to faculty credential files. In Georgia Military College Policy, Chief Academic Officer, Dean of Faculty is responsible for maintaining granting access to the college faculty credential file. The request for access to the college faculty credentials must be directed to Georgia Military College. Attend Chief of the Academic Officer of the Dean of Faculty, 201 East Green Street, Milledgeville, Georgia 3161 478 387 In Georgia Military College Policy, Principal of Georgia Military College Preparatory School is responsible to maintain granting access to a preparatory school teaching credential files. Request access to the preparatory school teacher credentials must be directed to Georgia Military College. Attention Principal, 201 East Graney Street, Midgeville, Georgia 3161 478 387 4850. January 2522. Dr. Susan Isaac, Chief Academic Officer, Dean of Faculty. 4014, Right of Faculty Gmc Problem Resolution Process Policy Statement. The Georgia Military College Policy GM faculty member may initiate with or participate with the problem resolution process and concerning decision, action, lack action, policy, procedures, regulation, requirements on person, group of person acting in an official college capacity with a directly adversely affect the professional and personal well-being of a faculty member, which may be corrected by the college. Problem resolution of the faculty problem wishing to proceed with the GMC problem resolution process should do so using procedures provided in faculty handbook section 2.5. Faculty members are used of the procedure without fearing reprisal with initiating process or participating in its resolution. Georgia Military College officials fairly and promptly resolve the respond faculty member complaints. January 25th, 2020, Dr. Susan Isaac, Chief Academic Officer for Faculty. 415, minimum teaching qualification college faculty members. Policy statement: the Georgia Military College policy with the faculty of teaching associated degree courses design the transfer of baccalaureate degree teaching courses associated applied science and bachelor's applied science degrees programs with the GMC over the whole the doctrine master's degree with a teaching discipline minimum master degree concentration of the teaching discipline, which is defined minimum 18 graduate semester hours or 30 quarter hours of the teaching discipline. Faculty members teaching learning support services courses will hold bachelor's degree higher in the teacher discipline, bachelor's degree and higher than 18 undergraduate and 18 graduate semesters out of 34 hours in teaching discipline. Exemption is granted by President with approval of the President. Georgia Military College exemption with stipulations may be granted Senior Vice President, Chief Academic Officer, the Dean of Faculty, except when rarely be considered with rarely granted, determined whether the exemption is warranted by the Senior Vice President, Chief Academic Officer, the Dean of Faculty, will consider the highest earned degree in the discipline along with the applicant competency with effective with the capacity included an appropriate undergraduate graduate degrees related to work experience, field, professional licensure, certification, honors, and awards. Continue to document excellence in teaching, other demonstrate with the competencies and achievements that contributed to the effective teaching. April 4th, 2022, Dr. Susan Isaac, Chief Academic Officer, Dean of Faculty. Approved by Board of Trustees, May 4th, 2015. 4016, since the disability policy statement, Georgia Military College is committed with a full and total inclusion of individuals providing cooperative and participate in the benefit of all of the problems with the GMC compliant with the Rehabilitation 1973. American with a Disability Act of 1990, American with a Disability Act as amended with the 2008 Section 504-508 regarding civil rights of the student. Rights of the person with disability. GMC seeks to ensure that the student within currently enrolled with the GMC with a disability seeking with assistance within the floor with his or her right with the equal access with the course or programs with the job with the activity with the faculty with the officer with the college reasonable with the accommodation academic adjustment auxiliary aids and services determined on a case-to-case basis. Appropriate confidentiality information with regarding disability choice with the width of the disabilities with disclosed except for the required with the permitted by law with the information we're able to access with the formats. Responsibility clearly explain that student with a disability GNC ensure that every student with a disability understand that he or she with a responsible meeting essential student with a determined with the GMC for the course or program jobs and serve with the faculty registered with the GMC offer the student disability problem when seeking accommodation participate with the interactive with the intake with the providing documentation disability based for the GMC with the documentation guidelines including the information functional limitation of disability. Follow specific procedures of obtaining responsible accommodation, academic adjustment, auxiliary aids, and serve with recommended by the college authorities and the early term of the possible. Communicate requests for the accommodation for the instruction by request or instruction and notification letters meet with the faculty and discover the previous accommodation. Please see with it GMC Academic Calendar log for the disclosure of the policy procedure regarding the Student Disability Services, June 25th, 2023. John Shealy, Dean of Students. 4C 17 credit hour definition policy statement, credit hour definition policy statement of Georgia Military College policy. College will conform with a commonly acceptable practice with the Higher Education Department of Education Southern Associate College School Commission of the colleges. Policy for the determining of the credit hour of the award of the course program, ensuring with the conscience of the regulation. GMC will define the credit hour amount of the work represented the intended learning outcome of the verify with the evidence sustained achieving the institutional established equivalence reasonable approximately. Not less than 1 hour classroom with a detailed direct faculty instruction running with a 2 hour with the class student work each week with approximately 15 weeks for one semester with a trimester with an hour with a credit with the 10 to 12 weeks with a 1/4 hour with a credit with the equivalent amount of the work over a different amount of time, or to at least an equivalent amount of work with the required with the outlining item 1 above with the others of the activities established institution includes laboratory work, internship, studio work, other academic work leading to the accredited credit hours become commonly accepted practice with the Higher Education Georgia Military College credit with the hour with a reasonable approximation minimum amount of student work in Carnegie unit 15-minute period. Quarter system credit hours with Georgia Military College operates core system. Quarter credit hours equate equivalent 50-minute session classroom instruction coupled with expectation typical students with required for 2 hours outside of the study with each class session in order to achieve the initial learned outcomes. Typically over a period of each term in regards to the length of each of the hour of the credit there will be 500 minutes of classroom instruction, 1,000 minutes of additional study required by the student. Over the period of the term regardless of the length each laboratory credit there is between 1,000 minutes of lab time, 500 minutes additional study required by the typical student. Online credit hours of the credit hours course delivered to be using online database hybrid independent study with the modes of the sun base for the least of the equivalent amount where the work is required for the traditional classroom setting. April 5th, 2022. Dr. Susan Isaac, Chief Academic Officer, Dean of Faculty. Policy 4018, substantive change. Policy statement. Georgia Military College will comply with the Southern Association of College Schools Commission with the college substandard for the change policy. Compliance requirements for the GMC with the notify the Southern Association of College Schools and Commission with the college substantial change with the required seeking approval of the private initiation changes. Compliance with the requirement of the GSC with the head of the policy procedure to ensure that all the substantive of the change with the reported with the Southern Associate College and state schools of commission colleges timely fashion. Substantial change for the deaf and the blind. Substantial change with a significant modification explaining for the nature of the scope of the accredited of the institution, Southern Association College, Southern Commission on College change with the include with the required by the federal rules, regulations, supplementary change with the establishment with the jack for the institution of the program, change the legal status of the form of the control ownership of the institution, change with the government of the institution, merge and consolidate two or more institution entities, acquiring other institution with any of the program location, other institution, relocating the institution off the visit instructional site of the institution include with the branch campus, offering courses of the program with a higher level of degree, level of the currently authorized, adding graduate programs. The institution previously offering only undergrad programs include with a degree with a diploma with a certificate of the credentials. Change with the wave of the institutional measure of the treatment of the process of the clock hour of the credit hour of the semester, trimester, quarter of the time base, the non-time base month of the measure of the adding programs to the departure of the existing program, month of the delivery of those effective, those offered in the institution were last evaluated. Initiating program with the distant education correspondence courses, adding an additional method of delivery currently offered program, the entering the cooperative agreement, academic agreement, and entering with a written agreement of the Title 44 CFR 6685, under which the institution organization not certified to participate in Title IV higher education programs offered less than 25% of the notification, 20 to 50% with approval of more than one accredited institution educational program, the agreement offering more than 50% of the one or more institution programs and prohibited in federal regulations, for example, to increase the degree of the number of the clock hours, credential hours awarded, competency with the demonstrated and increase the level of the accredited award for the successful completion of one or more of the program's additional competency-based education programs, adding each of the competency-based education programs by direct assessment, adding programs for the completion progression pathways for the recognized with accommodated students prior to the existing knowledge and competency, award dual joint academic awards, reopening previously closed program off campus instructional site, adding a new office of campus institutional site, educational location included branch campus, additional permanent location with a the institution conducting with a teach out with a program, conducting a teach out program and the student with another institution that have seats without open operate before all of the students have completed their program study, closing institution program for the delivery off campus instructional site with a program off campus instructional site, substantial class requirement, change of the requirement include those required with the federal regulations, institution required with the SAC, approval of the private implementation of substantive changes. Institution responsibility to maintain and complying with the titles 14.2, substantial change of the principal accreditation, substantial change policy for the procedure of the related with the VIS, administrative of the student requirement, PDH, the advertising and student recruitment agreement really involved with the dual academic awards, credit hours, critically assessment, competency-based educational programs and distance correspondence, education, dual enrollment, and merger consolidation, acquisition, change of ownership, change of governance, control form, legal status, and requesting period of notification, and non-compliance of seeking accreditation at higher or lower degree level. And those are PDFs. It does not show exactly where to get those from. An institution written with a written substantive change of the policy procedure that must approve of the initial process of the publishing of the institutional documents accessible. Those affected with the purpose of the institution stand for the change of the policy procedure to ensure that all of the substantive change with the report of the SAC, with the timely substantive change policy procedure with the page 4 with the fashion required with the substantial change policy and procedure. Institutions are responsible for implementing and enforcing the substantive change policy and procedures. Institution financed by official with the administrative with the capability to operate off campus with the instructional site with the assessment with the new site with the review with the approve with the part of the reaffirmation with the 5-year intermittent reviews. New off campus instructional site with the subject with the substantial change with the community visit with the necessary with the authorized with the site with the approve the committee visit. Visit ensure with the staff of the personal faculties with the resource identified by the institution applicant for the prospect of the ensure with the quality of the instruction support services offered site different additional with the requirements of the apply with the institution substantial change with the restriction applied with the institution have been placed with the warning probation good call with the private 3 academic year with the, if the institution have the provisional certification participates with the federal financial aid program institution required to submit with the institutional contingency teach out plan with the SAC SCOC 30 days notification institution play with continue with the probation with a good cause with the institution meet with the condition and the numerated with the proceeded section of the policy originating U.S. Department of Education and the authority. Numerous change with the numerous sub-change with the thing with the accelerate institution new with the reaffirmation of the accreditation credited reaffirmation may be triggered but not limited to significant change with the number of off-campus instructional sites include with the branch campus with significant change with the number of programs significant change with enrollment that frequently merge with the consolidation acquisition general compliance with the responsible GMC with the compliance with the substantive change policy with the SAC, with the SOC, with the reset, with the administrative leave, with both academic and non-academic units, responsible SAC, with the SCOC, with the substantive change, rest of the GMC, with the SAC, with the SCOC, liaison, the SAC, SCOC, with the liaison has responsibility keeping current with the change with the SAC, SOC, with the substantive change policy communication, GMC president and senior administrator with any policy change and promptly, April 4th, 2022, Dr. Susan Isaac, and the SAC SEOC Liaison Chief of the Academic Office of the Dean of Faculty. Procedure addendum with the GMC Policy 4018 substantive change. Introduction GMC complying with the SAC, with the SOC, with the substantive change policy with the college with the procedure with the ensure with all substantive change with the reported SAC, SOC, with the in all timely fashion SAC, with the SOC, with the liaison with the responsibility of the GMC substantive change policy procedure with the ensure with the complying with the SAC, with the SOC, with the guideline with the GMC, with the procedure with the base with the substantive change with the institutional change program change off-campus instructional site with additional location change with the institutional chain with procedure, institutional chain with the describe the SAC, SOC with the substantive chain valve with the procedure with the acquisition chain with the measure of the human process with the completion competency with the base education course, credit base approach with the institutional level approval of the distance education institutional level approval of the governing chain with the institutional club with the institutional relocation, institutional contingency teach out plan level chain with the merger council consolidation of the mission and chain with the ownership of the member with the meaning with the control of the legal status chain with the for all of the institutional level chain with the GMC with the matters and with the initiative with the chain with the president of the board of the trustee with approval of once approved of the board of trustees. The executive assistant of the president approved of the copy of the board of trustee with the minutes for the SAC SOC with the C with liaison email copy of the senior vice president of the president. SAC SOC with liaison work for the GMC personnel with the prepare with the prospective with the review with the one more with the senior vice president and the president once prospective is approved of the president of the SAC SOC with the liaison sent with the prospect with the SAC SOC with the office before the published deadline. The commission and the accreditation and the schools approve of the take with the 6 month with the commission notified with the commission liaison prospect was approved. Once approved of the commission, when the GMC will implement the change. Program change, proceed with the program change with the describe of the SAC SOC with the plans for change policy and procedure. Collect credit hour conversion, competency-based education, the direct assessment approval, the competency-based education for the direct assessment notification comparative with academic agreement, the definition guidelines, academic agreement. Title IV, need for the approval and notifications, correspondent education, dual academic award, joint academic award with the non-SAC SOC with the institution, and need for the joint academic award with the SAC SOC institution, method of delivery, approval of the notification with the new program, approval of the notification, program closure, program design prior to learning, and approval and notification, program links, and with the chain with the program reopen. For all program chain with the senior vice president, with the chief of the academic, and all with the dean and faculty, initiate with the chain with the president with the approval of the chain with the programmatic nature of the is initiated with the faculty, the GMC with the curriculum committee, process detail with the curriculum committee by law, once approved with the president with the SAC SOC with the liaison work for the GMC personnel, to prepare with the prospect of the notification depending on the program change, once with the prospect of the notification of the developed the senior vice president of the team of the academic office, the dean of faculty, and the vice president of the academic affair with a review of the document. Once the document is approved, the senior vice president, the chief of the academic office, the dean of faculty, the vice president of the academic affairs, and the commission liaison send with the prospectus notification of the commission and the office for the published deadline. Commission approve of the text. Take 6 months of the prospect of the commission notify with the commission layout with them prospective prospects will approve of the notification do not require commission approval that once it's signed with the change can be implemented once the prospect is approved of the commission and the GMC will implement the change. Off-campus and instructional site notification. Off-campus and instructional site approval included branch campus extent of the review limited to review committee visits of the off-campus instructional site relocation non-branch campus. The branch campus off-campus instructional site with the name of the address change of the off-campus instructional site closure. Off-campus instructional site reopen. Off-campus instructional site in additional location change with the described within the commission with substantive change policy and procedure. Any senior vice president can make it with the recommendation altering with the campus with the instructional site with the additional location chain with the elements of the chain with the recommended senior vice president of the chief of the academic office, the dean and faculty presents president for approval of once to the approved of the president of the commission and liaison work with the GMC personnel with the prepare with the prospect of the notification depending on the off-campus instructional site with additional location change. One of the prospect of the notification developed with the senior vice president, the chief of the academic office, the dean and faculty with the vice president of the academic award and review over the document. One of the documents approved with the senior vice president, the chief of the academic office, the dean and faculty with the vice president of the academic affair with the commission liaison sent with the prospect with the notification of the commission officer of the published deadline. The commission approved of the take 6 months with the prospect with the commission notified with the commission prospect was approved with the notifications do not record with the commission approval that once of the stem of the chain with the be implemented. Once prospective with it is approved, the SAC GMC will implement the chain with the academic affairs will try with a percentage of the coursework towards the degree program being offered at each location and ensure the compliance with the commission policy. Alright, we're going to cut the tape there because that was important.